many parents aren't happy about this proposal. They say since last year's cuts, it created problems for the district. Officials here in Greenwood are urging you to pay your fines, or you may have to do the time. As you can see, the water is completely covering my boots, which made it very hard for motorists who had to drive down Washington Avenue. And Leland's Mayor James Lowe says that Minix was suspended because he wasn't following proper guidelines. And with heavy rain and freezing temperatures, potholes like this one are starting to pop up all throughout the city of Greenville. And as you can imagine, residents say they've had enough. The owners have about 90 days to comply to the city ordinance, or they will be demolished. Plumbing experts say if you can't get to a hardware store, use what you have around your house like old rags, tape, and a plastic bag. You can wrap those around your pipes or your faucet and use that as insulation. Your local Delta News begins tonight in Greenville, where a woman's 911 call goes unanswered. It happened last week at the home of Shawana Bell. WXVT's Woodrow Wilkins joins us live in the newsroom with more. All right, thanks, Woody. New developments tonight on the suspension of Drew's Police Chief Anthony Gibson. Mayor Jeffrey Kilpatrick informed us today that the suspension will be longer than 5 days. WXVT's Ryan Sullivan has more on that story, and he joins us live with more. Ryan. All right, thanks, Ryan. A second person has died after a weekend crash. Developing tourism and bringing more jobs to the Delta was the topic of today's Delta Summit. Today, Senator Willie Simmons hosted the first ever Delta Summit. And at today's summit, many mayors of small cities in the Delta were in attendance. Today, I spoke with Mayor Kermit Stanton of Shelby, and he says often his small city is overlooked when it comes to grants and federal aid. Some local high school students are getting the college treatment. As oil continues to pour into the Gulf of Mexico, seafood merchants are feeling the effects. And Governor Haley Barbour says that Mississippi hasn't been hit as hard by the oil spill as its neighboring states, Louisiana and Alabama. Here's what he had to say about the oil spill at today's Delta Summit. All right, thanks, Ray. This weekend marks the unofficial start to summer. And although summer doesn't really begin until another month or so, people are still lighting up the grills. But do you know what it takes to grill safely? Today, we stopped by the Greenville Fire Department to get some tips firsthand. According to the National Fire Incidents Reporting System, each year grill fires spark an average of 7,900 house fires. If your holiday plans lead you out of the Delta this weekend, you may have to dig deep at the pump. According to GasBuddy.com, the average price for gas nationally is $2.75 a gallon. A local organization for children in Greenville was robbed last week of an air conditioning unit that is worth close to $5,000. According to the director of the Boys and Girls Club, authorities have found the body of a 74-year-old man who didn't return from a fishing trip Friday in Tunica County. Now that BP's top kill has failed to clog the Gosher and the Gulf with mud and debris, the company is preparing yet another plan to contain the oil. Terrell Brown has the latest from Grand Isle, Louisiana. Yeah. The chairman of a House Energy Committee believes dual relief wells have a good chance of plugging the oil. Holding a picture of her slain sister in her hands, Marcy King Walker says this day could not have come sooner.
I just want to say I'm glad it's all over and done with. And I'm just glad to see closure.
Crystal King's mother wasn't able to bear the execution, so she sent a letter to be read in her place.
After tonight, Gerald Holland will never intrude in my life again. I choose not to attend Mr. Holland's execution. Watching him die will not bring Crystal back, nor will it take away my pain.
Members of the King family say that Holland lived a full life before today's execution, but their sister never got a chance to live life to the fullest.
Me and Marcy only got 11 years with our sister, but there is a lot of other people this day that do not and will not have the pleasure of being around her. She's been gone for 24 years almost, and that man lived.
Twin sisters Melissa King Adams and Marcy King Walker were only 11 years old when Gerald James Holland raped and murdered their 15-year-old sister, Crystal King.
Taking care of her little twin sisters. She was our second mom, so that was like real big blow to us too.
Now that Holland has been executed, the sisters say they can finally put this tragedy behind them and start life anew.
And I can close this chapter in my life and it be over with. I can just say it's over with. That's it. I'm not having nightmares anymore after today. It'll be over with and my sister will finally have peace. I believe that.
In Parchman, Adrian Pittman, WXVT, Delta News. Morgan Hayden and Josiah Moten were supposed to get married Monday, but now, instead of planning their lives together as a married couple, the two are trying to rebuild what they once had before Saturday's tornado.
We lost everything except our lives.
The couple says they took shelter here in this bathroom when the tornado struck, and when they came out, almost everything they owned was destroyed.
We got maybe a couple clothes and found a few pictures, but other than that, everything else was gone.
The couple has been together since 1996. Over the past 14 years, the two say they never thought they would experience a tornado together.
We can officially say we've been through everything together now and been by each other through everything.
Despite all the obstacles the couple faces, they're remaining optimistic.
It's good to have life.
Yeah.
We always set another date.
Yeah.
In Yazoo City, Adrian Pittman, WXVT, Delta News.
Mr. Cole, a jury of your peers has found you guilty of the murder of Latasha Norman.
Those are the words Danny and Patricia Bowden have been waiting to hear for more than 2 years. The man accused of killing their daughter will spend the rest of his life in prison.
And see, our main thing was justice.
Yeah.
We
just wanted justice. We wanted closure.
Latasha Norman and Stanley Coe were both from Greenville. They had been dating off and on for 3 years when the Jackson State student was found stabbed to death in a wooded area in Jackson.
We never knew that Mr. Cole had this in his heart. We never thought that he would take our child's life.
When Latasha went missing back in November 2007, it was like a real-life nightmare for her parents. Their only daughter was gone and was never coming back.
We went to bed one night, we woke up, our whole world was turned upside down.
Now the only things left of Latasha are pictures that hang from her parents' wall. Stanley Coe now sits behind bars for the rest of his life. That was something Latasha's parents had to share with her.
When we came back in town yesterday, we stopped by her grave before we came home. And we told her that justice had been served.
In Greenville, Adrian Pittman, WXVT, Delta News.